Alright, back to it. Well, not exactly no. I know that there must be some other way she got across that burnout bridge. Unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more.
What, Your Honor?
You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Will this be her final testimony? Moving the body.
This isn't walking over the bridge. There's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there's a way to cross a burning bridge?
So it was just a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident.
Oh, well, you can present the evidence on any statement you like.
Certainly was burned to the crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. Once I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth, and Maya will be accused of murder. That's right. I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err, and only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination. Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place...
I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said. The body did make it across somehow. So I must have just gotten confused.
But you seem to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped.
I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong.
Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? This is no joke. You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law.
Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like a week ago today?
Huh? Well, naturally it was,
You see, it's not that easy to remember, is it?
but if it had been some special kind of day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation.
Objection!
No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, Trey. What? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Show us some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire.
give you an option after this one. There's no penalty, so choose the wrong one. It says that it would be funny.
On this one?
No, the option later. They're gonna give you an option after this one. There's no penalty, so choose the wrong one. They're saying that it will be funny.
We're gonna go with this.
Larry did draw what he saw, right?
It has something to do with this, doesn't it?
One of the bars dropped afterwards. Why did it drop?
Swinging?
Tarzan? Would you really Tarzan over that?
But I mean, it was fine. It was over the bridge.
I don't think you can Tarzan over that. That would hit you into a wall. Especially if you're carrying a body.
Well, let's see what happens. Okay, that was the correct answer.
Because Larry saw her.
A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? Huh. You're saying it's possible. Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Who is it? Who is this witness? Can't chicken out here. I gotta keep on attacking. Go, go, go. Miss Elise Ducksnim's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Laurie Stuxnim. Brilliant, highly gifted. Remember what he said in his testimony? That night he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claim... Wait, what? No, that's not it.
What are you trying to look at?
It's upside down. It's upside down, isn't it?
Is it? Goodness, why was he looking at it upside down? Oh, wait, he's laying down looking at it like this.
Yeah, he was laying down.
Well, no wonder he drew everything upside down.
Oh my god.
Crazy person.
Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Uh-oh. The judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Huh! Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm gonna prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with a sketch? Upside down. Why'd it go to say that?
Godot figured it out too.
Oh my god. Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix looks carefully and think it over. The sketch drawn by Laurie Stuxnim.
We didn't get to Godot once prove. We didn't get to say it was a complete contradiction. Oh, we do. Yay! So it's a complete contradiction.
Something is obviously funny about this sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I meant, Your Honor. Laurie Stuxnim stated it over and over, that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
Contradicts reality?
Huh. This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to the finger pointing thing again. Okay, try it. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? The body? What the heck am I going for? The wires? Nope. It's this wire connected to the bridge. The wire? Huh! Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. To show us through reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out to how the sketch referred to Why do I have so much evidence?
Because you need all the evidence. You're a hoarder.
Do I just show this one?
Yeah, the wires are below the bridge now.
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes, now compare the sketch and the photo for a moment. In this sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge, jumping Jehoshaphat, the wires are below the guard wires. Order, order, order. This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong.
Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. With someone like Clarice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Clarice was doing when he witnessed this event? He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and finally he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Clarice must have been at that time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back. Can't see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. No, wait. Clarice Duxnim witnessed the event while he was lying on his back face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. So then, the sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Clarice Duxnim's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Order, order, order. Of all the things to say, a pendulum? The bridge was burning to crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead. The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. So it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? Saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum? Did I just present the photo again? I just present the photo? And the meaning of this is, if you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Ah! This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around the Lee Stokes Nim's body. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. Huh. Mr. Godot. Seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all. Possible or impossible, that's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? That's right. I wonder if you could prove that happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Well, we have this thing. Crystal sphere. Right? No? Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know of so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we could see it is the one that was in front of the inner temple. So then what was the spot where the criminal? Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body movement by looking at the overhead map again. Okay, the body was pushed from this point. It would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank. Iris.
What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance.
What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death. 10 feet, huh? That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to the forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose. Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. The one that came off of Miss Elise's Duxnim's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found... Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with the way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright. I thought this cold coffee might help you cool down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trite. But you forgot about one thing. Oh, what would that be? The aroma. Huh? The coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffinese. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side, like you say, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. An accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Drake? Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice. Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who is the person that received the body on Hazakura Temple site? Pearls.
Totally. I wish that they included some reactions to really ridiculous ones.
Yeah. So who should I say?
Who's the one who received it?
I don't know.
Well, who had to be on the other side?
Dahlia?
Dahlia was the one who killed her, right?
Yeah.
But would she be on the other side?
We could say Iris?
Iris was on that side, right?
Yeah.
Was she the one who received the body?
Think so?
You think?
I don't know.
He's definitely an accomplice who proved that.
Can only be you, Sister Iris.
Huh? But
I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by a snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it. Trite, were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after a mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge. Which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with.
What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple?
Objection!
Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is... No one besides Iris that could have perceived the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand. Her real name is... Dahlia? I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless. Huh! Just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh yes, I remember now. That case. 5 years ago. But according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month. So what? So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom. What? Order, order, order.
Wait a moment. How can you... My sister is already dead.
You of all people should already understand, after all. The blood of the master of the Korean channeling technique flows within that body. Korean channeling technique? Where have I heard that? That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. What an exciting story! Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was? Well, if we're gonna put things that way, then yes. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happened? Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions.
What's that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. 2 of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying, Trite? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that she found the plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the written witness stand is the real Iris. What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, Dolly Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. It was later that the body was moved by the pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose. Can't deny any of that.
Thank goodness. Looks like he's finally convinced.
But something still seems off. Way off. Still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one from the other night. Ha! I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous? Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switch places? Switch places? To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we can confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial. Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere. Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, has there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne? Yeah. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh? Explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that? I'm sorry, I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance to move freely borrowed you. This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake? We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here, no judge in his right mind would consider the idea of spirit channeling and... Uh-oh.
Be quiet. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice. Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, I always ask for her name and profession. It's one of my rules.
Dahlia Hawthorne, my current profession, permanently retired.
Huh. So you're not gonna bother hiding your identity anymore, huh?
Why would I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me.
What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. Never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time I'll end it, for her and for myself. Wow, that took a long time.
How not cute.
Oh, we still got like 20 minutes.
So you continue it?
Mm-hmm. We got 20 minutes.
Okay.
Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness?
Yes, how can I help you, Mr. Judge?
Well, it seems that if we're able to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony.
I have no problem with that. But then, when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown.
In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night. The plan.
The whole plan began with my death. Stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. For it to work, Maya Fey would have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya Fey, then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway.
So that means you really are... Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fey?
Yes, you have a problem with that?
Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Watch yourself, trike. If you got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. It's one of my rules. Ms. Zagato is correct. And by the way, it's one of my rules as well. To kill Maya. Could it be true?
Well, why would you expect anything else?
Ding, 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 ding. You were executed last month, correct?
Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant.
How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay?
Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. She was on death row, and she was my mother. It was actually pretty easy to meet with her.
I see. So that's when you discussed the plan?
Huh, are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well. Even though I'm her own daughter.
All to make Pearl Fay the master Koran.
She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister Misty took the place as her master. Ever since that day, we've been working on that plan.
Plan, huh? Talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct?
Yes, at first she had high hopes for the two of us.
You and your twin sister, Iris?
That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us have much spiritual power. That's why, We were abandoned by her, along with our father.
Abandoned?
The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple.
You mean Iris?
Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general.
How horrible.
The truly horrible one was that woman, that bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Faye. She was born with abundance of spiritual power, unfortunately for her. Morgan Faye heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family.
Maya would have to die? Why?
For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master. The remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of.
But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya.
How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of master. That's all.
That's ridiculous.
She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. Life of her daughter and naturally the life of Maya Faye as well.
How could anyone do that? You were gonna kill Kamaya?
Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. And I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me.
So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin. On Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple.
She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone was there to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would all think it was Iris that did it.
And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini.
I never would have guessed he was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night. But she wound up seeing Iris' crime anyway.
Why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she?
Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I could care less about her.
Backstabber.
You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway.
Yeah, probably leave it off here for now. We'll pick it up in the next one. Bye bye.